He built an empire on the back of insurance policies, then quietly pivoted into everything from banking to mobile telecom, e-commerce, and real estate. He learned law in Washington, D.C., then returned to Taipei and translated that legal training into the kind of pragmatic, risk-aware leadership that makes a financial conglomerate resilient across decades. This is the story of Daniel Tsai, the soft-spoken heir who, alongside his brother, turned a family company into one of Taiwan's most influential financial groups and quietly became one of the richest men in Asia. Daniel Tsai was born into a family where business was not an abstract idea, but the rhythm of daily life. The son of Wan-tsai, the founder of what later became Fubon Group, Daniel grew up at the intersection of family duty and entrepreneurial possibility. His father had laid the first stones, an insurance company established in 1961, and those stones would become the foundation Daniel and his siblings would build on. From an early age, Daniel followed a path that blended formal study with immersion in the family enterprise. He read law at National Taiwan University, a conventional route for a scion who needed both credibility and sharpened thinking. Then, in 1979, he went to Georgetown Law in Washington for an LLM, focusing on international trade and negotiation. Unusual training for a future banker, but perfect for a leader who would later steer cross-border deals and regulatory minefields. That year abroad, Daniel said, broadened his view and honed the skills that would matter most in boardrooms: negotiation, reading complex contracts, and seeing business problems through a legal lens. When Daniel formally joined the family business in the early 1980s, Fubon was still chiefly an insurance concern. But under the stewardship of the Tsai family, and especially as Daniel and his brother Richard took increasing responsibility, the company transformed into a diversified financial holding. They pushed into banking, securities, life insurance, and gradually into industries beyond pure finance: telecom, cable TV, e-commerce, property development, and media content. That shift from single-product insurer to integrated financial conglomerate is where Daniel's strategic fingerprint becomes clear. He didn't merely scale the existing business, he used it as a platform to enter sectors that could feed one another. Fubon's approach under Daniel's leadership reads like a deliberate playbook for modern financial groups. Insurance provides stable float, banking delivers deposit funding and lending growth, securities and asset management capture capital markets upside. Meanwhile, investments in telecom and e-commerce built new distribution channels and customer touchpoints. The effect was to reduce concentration risk. If one line of business sputtered, others could pick up the slack, and to create cross-selling opportunities that lifted the group's valuations. The move worked. Over the years, Fubon grew into one of Taiwan's largest financial institutions, with a footprint that stretched into China and Hong Kong as well. Corporate dynasties are rarely a one-person show. For Daniel, the story is inseparable from Richard Tsai, his co-leader. Where Daniel brought legal training and a reputation for steady governance, Richard added his own talents and complementary leadership style. Together, they did something family firms often struggle to do: professionalize. They separated ownership from management in practice, even while keeping control in family hands, installed modern corporate governance where necessary, and made long-term strategic bets rather than chasing quarterly headlines. The teamwork of the Tsai brothers turned Fubon into an institution rather than just a successful family firm. Several decisions stand out when you trace Fubon's rise. The shift into banking gave the company a stable, interest-earning backbone. Buying stakes in Taiwan Mobile and investing in momo.com, a TV shopping and e-commerce platform, diversified revenue streams and positioned Fubon to capture retail customers in new ways. The Tsai brothers also invested in regional expansion, opening branches and operations across Greater China and Hong Kong, which increased their market reach and exposure to higher growth markets. These were not accidental gambles, they were strategically placed bets, designed to knit together a modern, resilient financial group. Daniel Tsai's leadership is often described as low-key and methodical rather than flashy. He combines legal precision with an investor's temper, scrutinizing contracts, regulatory frameworks, and balance sheets before moving. That temperament suits a conglomerate with interests spanning highly regulated industries. Under Daniel, Fubon's public posture has been less about grandstanding and more about steady expansion and risk management. Buy where you can cross-sell, invest where distribution amplifies customer lifetime value. Expand geographically with careful regulatory planning. The company's stability through market cycles is a testament to that philosophy. Philanthropy and legacy. Daniel Tsai Hall at Georgetown. If business shaped Daniel's public profile, philanthropy shaped how he would be remembered beyond balance sheets. In 2023, he made a headline-grabbing $30 million gift to Georgetown Law, his alma mater, to fund a major building on its Washington campus. The donation was the largest capital gift in the law school's history and announced a new Daniel Tsai Hall, a 200,000 square foot academic building, planned to host clinics, classrooms, and sustainable design features. That gift told a story. A law student's gratitude translated into a legacy gift intended to shape the education of future lawyers and leaders. It's hard to separate the significance of that gift from the arc of his life. A Taiwanese student who studied international trade and negotiation in Washington returned home to build a global enterprise and later gave back in a way that bridges those two worlds: wealth, rankings, and what the market sees. Wealth metrics for family conglomerates are noisy, share prices move, holdings are opaque, concentrated stakes hide liquidity issues. Still, public measures place the Tsai brothers among Taiwan's richest. In recent years, Forbes and other wealth trackers have consistently ranked Daniel and Richard near the top of Taiwan's wealth list, with net worth estimates that have varied as Fubon's stock rose and fell. By 2025, the Tsai brothers were again atop Forbes' list of Taiwan's richest people after a strong year for Fubon's shares, reflecting both the value of their holdings and the market's appetite for well-run financial groups in the region. For viewers, these rankings are shorthand for the scale of the enterprise Daniel helped build, but they don't fully capture the corporate craftsmanship behind it. Running a big financial group in Asia means more than chasing profit. It means navigating geopolitics and regulatory complexity. Taiwan's unique position and Fubon's business ties across Greater China meant Daniel had to manage regulatory relationships in multiple jurisdictions with different rules and political sensitivities. He had to ensure that banking licenses, insurance operations, and cross-border investments complied with evolving rules while protecting shareholder value. The Tsai's measured approach to expansion, gradual, legally sound, and backed by robust compliance, reduced the political risk that often topples regional empires built too fast. Daniel's legal background was not just ornamental. It helped the group read risk where others saw only opportunity. There's a pattern in Fubon's balance sheet choices that speaks to culture. The company tends to prioritize capital adequacy and conservative reserving in insurance, even as it invests in distribution innovations like mobile platforms and e-commerce. In practice, this means Fubon could withstand shocks better than more aggressively leveraged peers while still being nimble on the product and distribution side. That balancing act, prudent capital and progressive distribution, became a competitive advantage in volatile markets and is arguably a core reason the Tsai era at Fubon produced sustained growth rather than boom and bust cycles. Daniel Tsai is not a celebrity CEO. He rarely courts press attention, preferring the quiet business of boardrooms and strategy sessions. He lives in Taipei, keeps his family life private, and is known to be married with children. That discretion extends to how the Tsai family manages ownership, visible when needed, invisible when prudent. For public observers, that discretion can be mistaken for aloofness. For insiders, it's part of a deliberate strategy to depersonalize the firm and treat it as an institution with intergenerational horizons. One of the Tsai brothers' smarter moves was to see distribution as a future profit engine. Buying into Taiwan Mobile and investing in momo.com weren't glamour moves, they were strategic. Telecom and e-commerce give a financial group direct access to customer data, channels for new products, and marketing real estate that traditional banks often lack. In consumer finance, distribution matters as much as credit underwriting. Fubon's investments in these sectors signaled a bet that tomorrow's financial winners would be the ones who owned the customer interface, which explains a lot about Daniel's long horizon and multi-sector approach. No large financial group is immune from scrutiny. As Fubon expanded, it had to deal with market skepticism about conglomerates, regulatory reviews of cross-border operations, and the perennial challenge of digital disruption. Family control also invites questions about governance and minority shareholder protection. The Tsai response has been to modernize governance frameworks selectively, introduce professional management, and keep clear lines between ownership and operational roles. Whether that's enough is always a live question in corporate governance circles, but the group's performance and repeated investor confidence suggest the strategy has worked so far. While his Georgetown gift was high profile, Daniel Tsai's philanthropic footprint is broader and typically understated. He participates in academic and policy institutions and supports initiatives that bridge Taiwan and international education and research. These gifts are consistent with a worldview shaped by time abroad, that ideas, legal training, and cross-cultural exposure can be multiplied if institutions are funded to educate new generations of leaders. In effect, his giving reinforces the trans-Pacific ties that his career itself embodies. Legacy is a curious word for someone still active in business. For Daniel Tsai, legacy looks like a living enterprise. Fubon's market positions, its diversified businesses, and the institutions it supports. His most visible stamp may be the convergence of prudence and ambition, a company that builds conservatively but seeks new channels for growth. If history remembers Daniel Tsai as a shrewd steward of family capital and an architect of modern Taiwanese finance, it will be because he prioritized durability over dramatic headlines. Forbes' Daniel Tsai's life is a case study in how law, family, and finance can combine to create institutional success. It's a reminder that billionaires are often the product of patient strategy, the slow accretion of businesses, the careful diversification of risk, and the occasional bold philanthropic act that ties personal history to public good. In an era where startup myths dominate coverage, the Tsai story shows another path. Build patiently, manage risk rigorously, and invest in distribution so your customers stick around when markets turn. Daniel Tsai is not the loudest name in global finance, but that's part of the point. He represents a type of leadership where quiet competence trumps spectacle, where legal training sharpens business strategy, and where family ownership can coexist with modern corporate governance. Whether you're interested in banking, family enterprises, or the art of lasting wealth creation, his story offers lessons. Diversify thoughtfully, guard your balance sheet, and use what you've built to invest in the institutions that shaped you. For Daniel Tsai, the building he funded at Georgetown may prove as durable a monument as his work in Taipei, a bridge between the legal mind he once sharpened abroad and the financial architecture he built at home.